Greetings once again to the great students in the PMIN897 Experience DMIN Project Design. This is your instructor once again coming to you. Can you believe that we are in week 13? And that means that, there's only 3 weeks left to the spring semester so far as we are concerned in our process. So I wanted to be able to come by. Everything starts to move very quickly in the last 3 weeks, so I want to keep up with you every step along the way. Please remember that if you feel like you're getting behind, it doesn't mean the same thing as it would in some other classes that are designed to be classes. All of our assignments in this class are simply incomplete until they're marked complete. And so it's best for you to just keep marching ahead and doing as much as you can. I've mentioned before that this class 897 is designed to automatically roll over into a second semester if it's needed. It doesn't automatically roll over into a third semester. So if if life has happened and that's why you need more time, that's fine. I'll come alongside of you again in the summer semester. I'll immediately mark a grade for all of the work that you did in the spring and then help you move forward from there. You don't want to move forward because of procrastination. It's too easy to get stuck, which you don't want to do, because after the second semester, it'd be terrible for you to just drop the program. You've done so much work. So I have absolute confidence that you all are doing well and are going to do well. I'm not concerned in the least for you. Module 6, of course, is about draft proposal revision. So that means that we are beginning now in Module 6 to work very specifically on your final draft proposal. It's the first draft proposal at first that you will submit. Ultimately, we're looking at, of course, a final draft proposal after we work together on what you have done. To be honest, I already have approved 3 final draft proposals. So this class is really, really sharp. And so I'm looking forward to just marching with you and crossing with you across the finish line, kind of escorting you across the finish line if I can, so that you can move on to 899. In terms of resources in Module 6, again, Tim Sensing's book is very, very good because it's designed specifically for DMIN students. It's not just qualitative research, it's just kind of an excellent book on writing a DMIN dissertation, conducting a DMIN ministry project. And so we're going to finish up with some later chapters, chapter 7 and 8 in the appendices in Sensing's book. Of course, the proposal template is there. There are sample dissertation proposals, also the sample of a completed dissertation. Now, remember, these are not models, they're samples. So obviously, the work that you're doing is completely unique. And so we just want to make sure that you have resources that will assist you in your process. So you remember how we've gotten to where we are this week. Week 8, you were writing your BTH foundations. And for the most part, we're past that. A couple of you are still working on yours, and that's fine. Because the lit summary and the BTH foundation are the biggest pieces of your proposal. So it's good to take whatever time you need to do that. We had a discussion and forum in week 9 where you discussed project design. Of course, those are the specific instruments you're hoping to be able to use in conducting your research, in collecting data. Week 10 was a student profile, which is a really great assignment. I think it's very, very important, not only for you, but also really for the Doctor of Ministry program. Week 11, we had another discussion forum, and this time on methodology. That's the whole issue of qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods of collecting data. How you analyze your data depends very much on which method you use to gather it. And so obviously that it was involved in our week 9 discussion, but to specifically focus on that in week 11. And I was excited to be able to bring for you, if you want to access them, some of the great material from PMIN 705, which used to be our full methodology course. And then week 12, begin to work on your first draft proposal. And so I think, for the most part, we're doing good. We're going to do very, very well, seeing the end of this process. I wanted to just quickly review what we've already looked at before, simply because it is where we are now. And so I'm not going to take much time to do this when I review it, but just to be able to bring it up again. And of course, you'll have the the video record of this time together as well. The first section, these are short introductory sections, is the overview, which is kind of a general introduction to your ministry project as a whole. And then the next short section is the statement of the problem, where you're going to give your statement of the problem question, along with some background information as to why that is your question. And then there's a section on the rationale for doing the ministry project. This is kind of a way for you to cast vision for your project. Why are you doing the project? Remember to answer these 4 questions in particular. Why are you interested? Why is there a need? Who would benefit? Ultimately, what is the gap in the research? That is to say, what specific contribution are you going to uniquely make? You're not duplicating the research really done by anyone else. And so in that sense, you're filling a gap. And then there is the limitations and assumptions introductory section, where you're clarifying the scope of your research and the boundaries of your project. Remember that there is a statement from the School of Divinity catalog that is literally required at this point in the proposal. And then there are some concluding sections that anticipate chapters 4 and 5 in your dissertation. There's not a lot of specific things you can say at this point, but it is good to kind of anticipate how it is you would like to see your research project go forward. And once again, this is very helpful to Dr. Flynn when he's looking at your proposal. It will be helpful to your chair, although we're very aware of the fact that the details of your project are settled in the HSR application process. So there's a short section called Methods for Analyzing the Problem. How do you hope to be able to actually then collect data? What methods are you hoping to utilize? And this is where you can talk about your interview or your survey or your workshop or whatever it is you hope to do. There's another little section called Results and Contributions. Again, what you're hoping that will come as a result of your research that will be beneficial. Of course, then there's another little section called Evaluation of the Project. How are you going to evaluate how are you going to analyze the data? This is where you can say something about methodology. And then the summary is the last section, which is a summary of your entire proposal. And all of these are just short sections at the end of your proposal. So notes, of course, on the use of the template. We've talked about this before, but we're doing it now, so it's important to review quickly. Use the blank template in course resources. I mentioned, I think in our Zoom meeting, that occasionally someone will take out the annotated template, kind of erase those notes, and then dive into it. And it's not formatted properly. So use the blank template. You can either compose within the template, or you can copy and paste from another document. Remember, most people do copy and paste from another document, but when you do, the default settings that were relevant to what you copied in Microsoft Word will transfer into the template, which means occasionally, for instance, it will add 8 points to the end of every paragraph, to the end of every heading, that kind of a thing. That's easy enough to fix, quite frankly, but just be aware that that will happen. I love our process. It's really more for us in the DMIN program. It's more about your ministry project than it is about your dissertation. The dissertation is the report of your project, and it is also the report of the background research that gave you a sense of warrant for your project. And so it's a very, very important process. It's what ultimately will qualify you as a doctor. It will, in fact, qualify you as an expert in your area because you will end up contributing something entirely unique to the literature. So it's a great process. I don't anticipate that any of you will have difficulty. As a matter of fact, I'm aware that some of you are very excited about moving on, getting into 899, starting to write your dissertation, then do your project, and etc. So I think it's going to be a very good process for you. I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to do extremely well. I'm excited about the work you're going to do and the fruit that it's going to bear down through the years. So, of course, if you have any question, let me know. I will be working together with you on your draft proposals as you submit it. So God bless you, everybody. Just have a great week.